Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Legends Mobile. Today, as you can see, I'm in a Tier 2 game in the Soviet cruiser, the Bogatyr. Why are there only 3 people on each team, Terry? Well, it's about noontime here in Australia. Tier 2 isn't very busy, and apparently during this time, I have no idea which server I'm on, there's not an awful lot going on, so we end up with 3 people in each team. That's why I'm also still sitting on the intro screen, because I'm going to have to explain what's going to be happening. Let's go. With 3 people, you obviously have a slightly higher requirement in order to, make your impact on the team. And this is Tier 2, but this is World of Warships Legends, so people aren't, people tend to be a little bit better players than what you may be used to from other games. So I'm out here in the Bogatyr, and I have to figure out a way to, make this work. And that means, first of all, I am going to head over into my capture circle and actually join up with the team, because I don't know if the enemy team is going to play aggressive or if the enemy team is going to play defensive. But either way, with 3 players on each team, the first thing we can do really is if we can remove a single ship from the enemy team, that reduces their firepower by 1/3. So keeping everyone alive, especially that St. Louis over there, and hopefully getting the destroyer to have some scouting for us, will be an absolute key to making this work. Now, we have no idea where the enemy team is going. They could be sailing around the outside and coming for our friendly capture circle. So we do have to take everything into account here. I don't have to be too careful with broadsides because, I'm in a cruiser, but there are no battleships out here. And still, armor piercing does hurt. So this is probably about as far as I want to go forward for now, until our friendly destroyer hopefully spots something. I'm spotted. And the destroyer in our team isn't going ahead very aggressively, because he's obviously very careful not to run into the enemy team. We don't know where they are yet. So I'm just letting my team know that I've been detected, and we will find out where the enemy team is eventually, because I've obviously been spotted by the destroyer, but now they have gone behind an island, because I'm no longer spotted. But I'm already reducing my speed, changing my course, and I'm assuming that there's some. Yeah, there's the enemy Caledon, the enemy light cruiser. But I'm pretty sure that might have been the destroyer that has been spotting me. So I'm assuming they're both on my port side, and there's the enemy Frion coming out on the starboard side. So I'm reducing my speed, and we'll focus our fire on the Frion, because because that's the one we currently can see, and he seems to be alone on that flank. So shots out at the Frion, and getting the range. Yep, there's the destroyer on my left. I'm going to ignore it for now, because while he can absolutely head for the capture circle, I'm close enough that we can potentially, I can potentially defend there. So I'm just going defensive against these 2, providing a minimal target while trying to help the friendly cruiser against the Frion, and trying to draw the fire away from him. But we'll see how that ends up. We're Tier 2. We're all struggling to figure out how things work. Frion has torpedoes away. I don't think they have range, though. I've switched to the armor piercing because that is a very light cruiser, and even though I only have 130mm guns and my Bogatyr isn't fully upgraded, still I think I can probably do more damage with those if I can manage to hit him. Now the Frion has run into an island, which does happen. And the Bogatyr's dispersion is not the greatest out in the world, as you can see. At these ranges, it can be quite difficult to actually hit something. Unfortunately, the Frion has managed to flood our friendly St. Louis out, which is a loss, because the St. Louis is a very good ship at Tier 3 and a very sturdy ship. So now we're 1 ship down, and what we actually wanted to do to the enemy team has happened to us. We wanted to reduce their firepower. I've lost a bunch of hit points, probably about a good 1/3. But what the Frion hasn't figured out is that if I get to actually hit him, this happens. Now the friendly destroyer, and I'm looking for the button that says capture the enemy base, but I can't find it. I might have to research that. Now the friendly destroyer has obviously not been paying attention, because he's still sitting halfway through the map very carefully. Where is that darn button? Go and capture the base. I have no idea where it is. anyway, I will be heading back to the friendly base to defend, because I know that the Caledon and the enemy destroyer are going to come around here, because they've been sailing down the flank, so I'm relatively certain that I know where they're going to be coming from. And yes, I am spotted, and there they come. There's the Valkyrie and the Caledon. First target's the Valkyrie, because he can one-shot me with torpedoes, which means that I am... he's giving me a flat broadside, shots out, that's half the Valkyrie gone. And I'm already reducing my speed and turning in to dodge the inevitable incoming Valkyrie torpedoes. I do have to Damacon that fire. There come the Valkyrie torpedoes. And unfortunately I am taking a lot of damage from the Caledon in the meantime. But I can just get around the Valkyrie torpedoes, and now it's a full health Caledon versus me. But I have the armor piercing loaded, and he does not. So the second salvo should manage to finish off the Caledon. No, he's actually also loaded the armor piercing, so he knows what he's doing. And unfortunately the dispersion says no, because I only get 2 citadels, and it's not enough to sink the Caledon. Now we have a problem, because now we are 10 points behind, because they have sunk 2 cruisers, and we have sunk a cruiser and a destroyer. And the Caledon, unfortunately, is still alive. So it's all up to this Wix now. Now, this is tier 2, and he's a new player. We're all new players, presumably. Someone might not be. I've seen a lot of cruisers firing armor piercing here, so the Caledon might know what he's doing. The Wix is now sort of getting into the middle of the capture circle, and is trying to get as much of the big island between himself and the Caledon. The Caledon is in the friendly capture circle. The Caledon is not going to win by capping, because the Wix has been in the enemy capture circle first. So I would assume that the enemy capture circle is ticking over earlier, and while we're 2 points behind at this stage, that means that once it's flipped, the enemy capture circle is going to start producing points for us, and the friendly capture circle is not yet going to be starting to produce points for the enemy team, because it will be not yet flipped. So we should be okay on points. So now it's a waiting game. What I would have liked the Wix to do here would be to get a little bit, either a bit closer to the island, or to get further away to the other edge of the capture circle, to ensure that that he knows where the Caledon is. Now, he might be bored shooting his guns and just waiting for things to tick. But look at the capture circles. The enemy Caledon has left our capture circle. He is coming because he realized that he's not going to win on points. This player knows what he's doing. So the Wix, you have to run now. Not outside the capture circle. You can actually. In fact, you should, because we're ahead on points at this point. The only way the Caledon can win is by killing you. So you should be running towards the edge of the map at this point. You can outspot the Caledon. Here, there's no reason for you to stay in the capture circle. If you do stay in the capture circle, you're still outspotting the Caledon, and you should be able to sink some torpedoes into him and then just sail away before he ever reaches you. He's either going to come around one of these 2 islands of one of these 2 sides of the island. Which one is anybody's guess, but we're ahead on points now. All you have to do is run away. Ideally towards the edge of the map, and we will have won. Unfortunately, now the Wix does the absolute worst thing that he can do. He smokes up. Because smoking up means he doesn't see the Caledon coming. Because smoke screens work both ways. They can't see you, but you can't see them either. So the Wix is now telegraphing to the Caledon where he is. He's inside the smoke screen. And at the same time, now we know that the Caledon is inside the capture circle, because the enemy capture circle is contested. Wix, you have to run. Run away as fast as you possibly can. Please. Unfortunately, the Wix, and if you see that, don't worry about it too much. You know, we're all new starters and we're all learning. So I'm not doing this to dunk on the player here, just to, to explain these sort of scenarios. You have to run. You can't see the Caledon coming. He knows where you are. He knows because he can see your smoke screen. So once he gets into proximity detection range, you have a big problem. You can still win this by torpedoing the Caledon, because he has to be on really low hit points. But it would have been safer to run. Now he is inside the capture circle. You're not going to win by capping. And there's the Caledon. So he can, if you can see him, he can see you. So move. Caledon has torpedoes probably. Move. Get your engines up. Move. Drop your own torpedoes. If you can kill him first, we still win. Drop your torpedoes. He's fully broadsiding you. Just drop your torpedoes. You're in a destroyer. Please drop your torpedoes. Unfortunately for everybody involved, the Wix is not dropping his torpedoes, and it is in fact not moving outside the smoke screen. Probably still confused about how a lot of these mechanics work. And it was so close. It was so close, yet so far. But big congrats to the enemy Caledon, who knew exactly what he was doing, who knew which ammo types to use, and who knew that when that he wasn't going to win by capping, but he had to go in for the kill. And yeah, there we go. So I found that a little bit of a nail-biter, despite the fact that it was a tier 2 game with 3 players on each team only. And that's all I have today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.